Hi everyone, welcome back to another Redstone video. Today I got a brand new 2x2 Spruce tree farm. The farm produces about 36,000 logs per hour, that's about 10 double chests per hour, and the main focus was really on simplicity. As you can see, there's almost no wiring required for the main part, which is the flying machine that breaks the leaves and pushes over the logs. We have a bit of wiring here at the top, but it's really repetitive for the TNT dupers that are required to break the logs. Of course, if you don't like shitty TNT tubing, you can also just use a dispenser instead. Alright, let's check out the farm. Something new actually. It's a dual core 2x2 spruce tree farm. So instead of just growing a single tree, grow two. Okay, let's check it out. So in order to start it, just gonna place saplings ourselves and bone meal them. And then you would sit in the minecart with saplings in your hand, and you can AFK there and place saplings. So you can run this farm without the player being present or active. Just need to hold down right mouse button pretty much to run it. Okay, let's turn it on here. This would soon start the flying machine that pushes over the logs. The leaves are broken, so it also gets saplings back. And now we dispense TNT to break the logs from bottom to top. Since 1.4 there's a 100% drop chance of items that are blown up, of blocks that are blown up by TNT. So we actually get all the items. As you can see here, does a really good job of taking everything out. So we dispense a TNT every 1.3 seconds. That gives it enough time for the items to fall down before the next explosion would blow them up. You can see here, the items fall down and they're out of range of the next explosion. And the TNT explodes every 4 blocks. Okay, here comes the next batch. Also in terms of lag, the farm is really good in my system. The farm requires about 3 milliseconds per tick. So even on a computer that isn't that great, this farm shouldn't lag. Okay, as you can see at the bottom, saplings and the logs are collected by a simple water collection. We don't even use any hoppers to collect saplings or logs. Everything just falls in the water, and if some saplings fall here on the wiring, it doesn't matter, we still get enough back. Okay. At the bottom here I just sort out the saplings. They go up this little water stream, flushed over towards this dropper there, and just activate burnout clock to get exactly 8 saplings on each cycle. Okay, as you can see, the whole thing also runs on a clock. So the flying machine is launched every about 14.5 seconds. Because there's some issues with spruce tree growth in 1.15. I'd probably make a separate video about that. So this video is just about the farm actually. Okay, at the moment, as you can see, I'm using a command block to place the saplings, but of course this is not part of the farm. Instead, you just sit in the minecart and place saplings yourself. You might have noticed this little detail here. There's some logs remaining behind, and those come from the bottom layer that the flying machine can't reach. Reason is that we got the dispenser here on this side, which are non-movable, so the flying machine couldn't push the logs over that are here. Of course, now you could suggest, well, why don't you just put the dispenser like this in order to get around this issue? Well, 2x2 spruce tree growth is still directional. So if you would try to grow a 2x2 spruce tree, you would always pick this sapling here and check the 1x3 area around it for any blocks. So this is fine if you have the dispensers on this side, or this side would also be fine. But if you would try to grow a tree here, you can't have any blocks around it. So we can't have the dispenser here basically. Okay, so of course you could also probably flip this around by 90 degrees, and instead of pushing over with 4 pistons, just basically have it like this. And then blow up the logs from the side, but I did not want it. I kind of prefer to blow up the logs from the front and not from the side, so in case there's a log remaining behind, it's sure that it's taken out the next time. But it might be possible also to flip this around a little bit. Just went with this design. Not sure if it's really the best, but yeah, farm works pretty well, I would say. I've also noticed that we actually take care of some of the logs. Let's get some. So basically, have this situation and some precise timing, push everything up just in the right moment. So the flying machine on its way back would push over the logs once more. So they're now in this position here. So we just lose kind of 4 logs each time. So we have this situation at the end. But the new tree would just grow and the logs remain behind. Just a little waste there, but in the end it doesn't really matter. So we still get 36,000 logs per hour. Let's also talk about the TNT dupers here at the top. I decided to use multiple TNT dupers because I think for everybody involved, in the end this would be the easiest solution. So we have a repetitive pattern, I have to just build it a couple of times. At first I tried to do this with a single TNT duper and then some precise timings to let the TNT drop down just at the right moment. But this is actually a quite difficult problem. Quite sure it would be possible somehow, but it would get quite messy with the redstone wiring, because the problem is also we dispense the TNT every 1.3 seconds, so you would need to handle multiple TNT at the same time, and then drop it down just the right moment. So they would explode at the right height. This gets pretty complicated pretty quick. Easy solution is just use multiple ones and then hold them a little bit on top of the fence gate here and then just drop them down all with the same timing. So it's definitely a lot easier to do it like this. Also, if you maybe want to follow a tutorial and build this, just need to copy it over and over again instead of just, some really complicated timings you would need to do otherwise. Just one remark about the wizard skeleton skulls here. They're kind of optional. You could also use cocoa beans instead, which are a lot cheaper, but technically the wizard skeleton skull is a bit better because the TNT is getting aligned against it, and mob heads are exactly half a block wide. And as far as I know, that's like the only block that does that apart from the cake. If you eat a couple of slices, but cake eating is also directional, like the 2x2 Spruce tree growth. And since the farm already has to be built this way, no luck here with the cake eating. So yeah, the mob head exactly half a block wide, so the TNT, which would then sit between those two blocks, would be just in the center of the 4 logs at the bottom. Instead you could also use the cocoa bean, which is just 1 pixel wider if it's fully grown. You can see here, doesn't make a huge difference. I just thought, well, it'd be nice to use the skulls for this. In case you don't want to use TNT duping, you could definitely also use a TNT dispenser. Just need to still align a TNT against the skull here. So maybe we want to dispense it and shoot it over with a slime block. And then still open the fence gate just at the right time so it can drop down. When the honey block first came out, I didn't make a lot of videos just for the honey block's sake, but it's definitely a really helpful addition for Minecraft 1.15. Made deciding this farm a lot easier. I'm quite sure I could make a similar farm without the honey block as well, but it would have been more complicated. So yeah, the honey block just makes everything so much easier. Another nice feature that I used in order to launch the flying machine all at the same time is using the bubble column. So we just push away the soul sand here at the bottom, and all the bubble water instantly converts into normal water, which is picked up by the observer and then launches the flying machine. What's also super important to make this machine reliable is the roof of opaque blocks here at the top to reduce the light level so the saplings don't grow random tick based. And that's to prevent that the trees would grow at the wrong moment. So it could actually happen that you're unlucky, despite 15 bone meal attempts, the tree doesn't grow. And then, just in the wrong moment, when the flying machine comes by, grows directly in front of the pistons. And of course the flying machine would get stuck and that's it. So that's why we reduce the light level at the top with the little roof, and this way we prevent the saplings growing at the wrong time. There's also no light source around to prevent this issue. This is especially important if you want to run this farm for more than 10 hours to make sure that it works really reliably. One more thing, in case you want to build this farm in survival, the AFK spot is a bit open, so you need to make sure you're not getting shot by skeletons or creepers could walk up to you. So one recommendation would be maybe to build this farm in a mushroom island biome. You don't have any hostile mobs spawning. Or you could also use a mob switch, but they got a bit more complicated in 1.15 because hostile mobs can despawn lazy chunks now. But the shulker mob switches still work. Anyway, you could also make this farm spawn proof. It's definitely also an option. You could add some light sources. Just be careful that you don't light up the sapling area, so stay below light level 8 there. Alright, I'm not sure if I need to make a tutorial. You can definitely find the world download in the video description. If there's a lot of requests, definitely keep an eye on the comments. I will also make a tutorial. It's not that much actually. Alright, but yeah, that's it for today. Hope you liked this farm. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.